Wait a minute. We're a day early. Also, I'm not wearing a watch. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Game. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Symphogear GX Episode 6. And this is gonna bring us to about halfway through. There's an uneven number, so it's not exactly halfway. I think there's 23 episodes. I think. I think that's what I saw when I was looking it up. Which is that's a weird number. That's so weird. That's so specifically weird. Or not 23. 13. Why did I say 23? I'm out of it. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you may notice we're on Wednesday right now. It's not Thursday. Why am I putting up Symphogear today? Well, to put it simply, we've moved around the schedule. You may have noticed some new shows popping up this week and everything, and that's because we had 3 shows end last week, but we're also adding a couple as well. So we have 5 new shows starting this week. And I've also decided to move a couple shows around just to work with the schedule a little bit more. So Symphogear GX is now on Wednesdays. So what does that mean? Not really much of anything. It just means you get the reaction in the middle of the week rather than toward closer to the end. That's really it. So I had a question last time, and someone kind of answered it. It wasn't. I don't think it was really a question I had. It was just something I brought up, the idea of. I kind of brought up the idea of will upgrading these gears, will Elf9 upgrading these gears help Goth or Emo Lolly, Hatsune Miku, and Dark Magician Girl? Will that be able to help them adjust to their gears better without Linker? And someone brought up in the comments, no. Because the reason that they have this issue is because they don't sync well with their gears in the first place. It's something that's not really going to be changed based on the gear itself because it's a problem with their connection to it. Hibiki has an excessively strong connection comparatively, for example, and that's why she's able to do it so easily. It's more of the person than the actual gear itself. So upgrading the gear won't really change that. They'd still need Linker. Now we know there is Linker that they have. It's experimental, incomplete Linker, but we know it works. We've seen it work. Granted, overdosing is not usually a great idea, as we also saw, but still. They need to find a way to be able to produce more of that. And I'm thinking Elf9 might be able to. I brought up the idea last time of Elf9 maybe joining them as this scientific mind, kind of replacing Ryuko from the past and everything. And I still think that could be the case. I still think that could be a good idea. And what if Elf9 is able to find a way to reproduce this Linker, even make it better, make it less, problematic, and that could help our girls get back into the game a lot easier, including maybe Maria somehow. I don't know, but you get the gist. I don't know if that's going to work like that. I don't know if that's how things are going to go with this season, and obviously don't tell me. I'm fine with being told that's not how the gears and syncs with all the users and all work, because that's just something I didn't quite remember and didn't quite grasp as well as I could have, because that's just me. I don't quite grasp everything with this series as well as maybe people who have watched this multiple times and everything has. I've seen each of these seasons and each episode from the season once. I haven't rewatched this because I don't think there's much of any other reactors that have watched this series. So I haven't really rewatched this at all, and on a first viewing, I'm not going to grasp everything. And I'm not going to be able to remember everything anyways, because that's just me. I have a hard time with that a lot. Um, but we're continuing in the battles against the auto scorers and Carol. Carol is like really taking her plan towards the next stages, and we're just really getting to the point where things are going to escalate. I mean, we're hitting like the halfway point of the season. Makes sense. So I'm very curious to see how this continues and how our heroes eventually overcome everything. Is it just going to be the power of gay? Because there's a shit ton of gay in this season. Like, seriously, I think there's more gay in this season than any of the previous, well, either of the previous two. Like, there was plenty of gay in the previous two, but it's just like, it's so in your face this season. I think that's more of the thing. It's a lot more blatant. In the previous seasons, it was held back a little more. It was a little more subtle. But I feel like as they go along, they realize, oh, their audience are into this. So they're able and willing to do a lot more. Um, I just feel like that's probably the kind of direction it took when this was coming out. But either way, I'm definitely interested to see where this continues to go. So let's just get into this and see what we have in store. Hold up just a second there. Before you click that link down in the description below to go to today's reaction, I just wanted to take this moment real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. Every single day of the week, we have some awesome Let's Plays for you. A bunch of different things to check out, and more coming in the future. And don't forget to click that subscribe button or like the video if you really enjoy the content I'm putting out. There will be more to come in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I mean, God, she is so fucking edgy. Like, I thought Chris was the edgy one, but God, Carol is edgy. And then we have this Ignite module that is also super fucking edgy and is utilizing the power of the Berserk mode. Obviously not putting them into quite the exact Berserk state, but utilizing that level of power within a new transformation. All right. So they won this battle, but Carol is going to be reborn because she committed suicide right here. She lost the battle, committed suicide, like instantly burned up her entire body, and it's going to be reborn. So that very much leads, like I said in the reaction, very much leads credence to my theory that Elf9 was created as a homunculus body in order to eventually house her. And so I assume there's probably multiple other homunculi that she can utilize in this way. We know that she's been around for a long, long time. We know that she's not actually like a little girl at this point. And we can presume that using this alchemy and everything is like, this is how she's been around all of this time. How she survived, what was it, hundreds or thousands of years or something like that? She's done it through, like, body swap, basically. She just swaps her body with another every so often. Which is like, okay, that's a lot. Does she need to, like, burn her body like this every time she does it? How does this all work exactly? Can she just I don't know. But we find out in this episode that the fuel for the auto scores for everything pretty much that Carol is doing is memories. That's why the auto scores were stealing memories and stuff. They use memories as literal fuel, burning them up in order to gain strength. And apparently Carol has burned up the memories of why she's doing this. And although we're seeing flashbacks, we see that they're not exactly her memories necessarily. Or at the very least, if some of them are, they're just fragments of memories. She only has like little bits left that so she doesn't fully know the context of everything. All she knows at this point is vengeance. She's so traumatized, so enraged that she wants to destroy the world. And she knows her father existed because she knows she's still doing this for him, but she doesn't have all of the answers. And so I'm really curious as to exactly what she does and doesn't know. I wonder if we're going to get specific examples of that. And I wonder, like, if she even burned up some of those memories in this battle. It's a really curious, like, power system, I guess you could say. And I'm just wondering exactly how it works. Now we see that the Ignite module activates by them clicking the crystal and everything, after which it then just stabs them right through the chest. It's like, Jesus, the fuck. And while trying to utilize this power, they have to apparently fight their inner demons. They have to fight against their traumas and pains. And while Chris and Tsubasa are able to fight out of it, they're not able to master it exactly. They're not able to, like, work past it alone. Hibiki has to come in with her own improved Gungnir in order to encourage them and get them to see the positivity of everything. As cheesy as it is, as Chris notes, it's like it's what they needed to be able to get past this, to be able to fight past their traumas and deal with what they need to ignite, basically. And it works. It does channel the Berserk power. It gives them these honestly badass new designs. Like the new Ignite mode designs are pretty fucking cool. I won't lie. And I'm just really interested to see if they keep these designs or if they're gonna like revert and have to like activate these at different times. Because like after the battle was over, it's like it still showed Hibiki in that like form. Does it just stay like that until she like deactivates the gear and then next time she'll be back in her normal form again? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Obviously no spoilers, but yeah. Um we see that her abilities and everything are obviously enhanced, all three of them. They're using like advanced versions of their previous attacks. And it's just a really cool scene. It's also super well animated. It feels like the animation budget went up a little bit. um yeah, this episode was really just like, you know, all about activating these Ignite mode modules and fending off Carol for the time being. It's only a temporary solution, but it did work. The problem is Carol's going to work to, you know, strengthen herself and her auto scores to be able to fight back against this. Probably the Alkanoids too, to some degree. So the next time's not going to be so easy, even with this mode. It's going to be interesting to see how, like, she improves and everything that goes down here. Because at the end, we even see her, like, telling Hibiki, it's like, you're not going to solve this, like, with your positivity and shit. This is not how this works. And then she commits suicide. So, fun. Very edgy. But Hibiki's basically like, okay, I'm not letting other people like get me down anymore. It's like we're gonna make this work. We're gonna make it happen. And it's like, good for you. Like not letting people's views of you get you down and being able to find encouragement through yourself in the face of adversity, telling you you're not good enough, basically. Obviously, Miku was instrumental in helping here. Her encouragement is what gave Hibiki the strength to be able to do this in the first place. This is obviously like a recurring thing with the series. Miku is literally Hibiki's strength. Hibiki being able to do any of this shit comes from Miku's love for her. It's like that's just very obvious, very intentional. And we see in this episode that Tsubasa and Chris are there for each other as well. They don't have a Miku per se. Well, at least for Tsubasa, not anymore. But they have each other and they have Hibiki, and they act as each other's support just as much. Hibiki having that extra support does give her a little bit of a buff, but Hibiki's also like boundless enthusiasm and mindset tends to also make it easier on her. Plus, she just syncs really well with her gear. Probably because of, it being embedded into her and shit. So it's like, yeah. Really interesting power up, really interesting moments for Carol here. I really didn't expect Carol to get involved in the battle. But that's also really interesting too, that we get a battle with the final boss, with the main villain, in the middle of the series. I've seen shows that have done this before, and yeah, it can be a really good idea because you get a view of the main villain. You get to understand them a lot more, understand their motives, their emotional turmoils and stuff, as well as their powers. And then when they come back in the end, they've been obviously like powered up quite a lot. And I mean, you've even seen this in like video games. A lot of video games have done this, where you'll have like a midpoint battle with the final boss, where it's like, oh, it's not that big of a battle, and you might not even get the final boss all the way down in terms of health before they like run away. But then when you actually get to the final battle, they're a lot stronger. They have a lot more tricks up their sleeve, a lot more abilities, and their health bar might even be a lot bigger, stuff like that. I've seen this in various games. I think Metroidvanias have done it quite a bit. So I kind of dig that. I kind of dig that they did this way. Though again, instead of her retreating, her committing suicide and being reborn in another body is super fucking edgy. But she's very excessively traumatized. So yeah. And she doesn't even know exactly to what degree, because a lot of her memories have been burned up. So having excessive, intense trauma without knowing entirely why, that's gonna do something to a person. Yeah, that was a really good episode, though. It was really intense, really cool, really powerful, and very, very edgy. Which is sometimes very fun. So tell me what you thought down in the comments below. As always, no spoilers. But for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.